Good afternoon, everyone. It is July the 18th, 2026. Today I'm going to put up 3 videos. 2 of them are more recent, one just last week. And this again is on the stabbings that are happening down here in the Byward Market that have been happening for quite a while. The second one I'm going to put up basically is during the stabbings and that, during this video that I put up on the stabbings and that, they also mentioned a stabbing back in February, which I didn't post at the time. I believe it was 2 homeless people, or street people, that got into an argument at the Rado Center, and one was stabbed to death. And my understanding is that a lot of the homeless people, including Julie, knew the victim in this particular case, and said that it was most likely a squabble between the two. They were much older gentlemen. One was, I think, in his 50s, and one was in his 70s or something like that. And so there was an argument between them at Rado Street, and one of them was stabbed to death. And apparently the homeless community was shocked over it, what happened at the time. But I never did put that one up on my channel, so I'm going to put it up today because it was mentioned in the recent video for the stabbings that were earlier this week. And the other video I'm going to put up is on more safety. What do you call them? Safety implements. What they're implementing basically for the safety, and it was also mentioned for the, I believe in the February one as well, that they wanted to put up some private security. So it's a very short video. It's only a few seconds long, but it's showing that we're doing everything we can. And certainly since May, May and April, when they started, police started more of their safety patrols and that, and they started doing their thing. It has been a lot safer. We're still getting the stabbings, and yes, there was that other stabbing that was mentioned too, and that was underneath the overpass between Centertown and Lower Town here, which I've put up as well on my videos. So, you know, and that seems to be cleared up at the moment in that particular area. It's much safer to walk at the moment in that area. So everybody's doing the best they can. Everyone's still complaining about not enough support for the homeless, not enough housing. That's constantly coming up. So there's a lot of arguments on that still, what needs to be done and what it isn't being done fast enough in this particular case. But some of these people who are that violent that come out and have to stab and that, they need more specific types of supports than just the average person who's just homeless, or someone who's just simply a student, for an example, who can't afford a place, or a couple, or an older person that can't afford a place to live, which comes to back down to the affordability situation. So this is a problem that's not going to solve itself very quickly. But again, it comes back to what I'm constantly saying, that you need to be safe. You also need to be able to watch your surroundings. You need to be concerned about able to be watching your surroundings so that you have an idea if something's coming in. I mean, if you're on your earphones or whatever, and you're trucking down the street and you're enjoying your music and that, and you're not paying attention, for example, and there's 2 people on the side over there that are having an argument, and you don't know if somebody's going to pull a knife. That's just an example of what might be going on. Well, in that case, you take a look and you make sure you walk around. You don't go into the middle of it. And if you're listening to your earphones, people just walk into things, and they don't even realize that they're walking into things. So that's what I'm saying. You really need to be aware of what your situation is. That's for sure. And it's been a really rough ride. It's been a really bad summer. So far. I mean, we didn't really have a spring. It went to, well, usually we expect the warmth in spring coming, and it was just a very cold, rainy and cold spring, literally. And now we're into and then when summer hit, it was just the heat waves were unbelievable, and now we're into the forest fires and everything else that's taking place with this extreme heat at the moment. So it's been a very, very long summer for all of us, I know. And all I can say is keep being aware of your surroundings, and hopefully you can avoid being the one that runs into a situation that you do not want to get yourself into. But generally, as the police are saying, it's people who know themselves and especially the homeless people here, they get into all kinds of arguments over some stupid little thing, literally. And it's basically them that get into the arguments. So you have to be aware of where these homeless people are as well. And when you see them, sometimes it's better to avoid them. Sometimes it's okay. You see the person panhandling on just on the sidewalk, and they're just sitting there with their little cup in the front, and that's okay usually. But it's the ones when you see them start swinging at each other, literally, and arguing with their voices raised and that. Try to avoid the situation, and it also can be dangerous for you to try and even interfere, because this is the way they feel that they need to solve their problems, is by stabbing people, and they do have a tendency to carry knives on them, and I have reported that as well in other some of my other past videos as well. So again, people, please be aware of your surroundings, be safe, watch your surroundings for sure, take care of yourself, be safe for the summer, make sure you're well hydrated in the heat, and just try and enjoy the summer the best you can, and try to avoid the things that you don't need to get yourself into. So take care, everyone, be safe, and we'll talk to you again soon, and bye-bye.